Good afternoon and good evening. My name is Sam Smith, sales executive and master at the craft of making money. And this is Let's Be Smarter with Money. On this episode, we're going to be talking about breaking the bad cycle that we have with money. And from every book I've ever read and, every person I've ever admired, it all started with where their mindset was. So if you're the type of person who has ever said, hey, I can't afford that, or I can't buy that, or I'll never be able to purchase that, or, are you someone who at times ask yourself, if somewhat with money is evil? If you change that whole perception, the way you think, and change those messages to, well, I'll plan to make that purchase, or maybe I'll get that one day, or the idea that you can be a good person and still make money. I think with the negative way of your thinking, is it changing anything in terms of your concerns or your anxiety about money? Now, I'm not going to be someone who is naive and say, just think positive and everything's going to change. That's not the case. But with positive thinking and actions, like the sky's the limit. I mean, you talk about some hard times, like I've been homeless before. And I'm not talking about like eating out the trash or sleeping on the streets homeless. But if a friend of mine had invited me to sleep on their couch, I accepted. And if you know anything about the red line, that was once my option for sleeping. I would sleep on the red line. But even in those moments of hardship, I always thought positive. And when I think about something that I accomplished from thinking positive, I think about wanting to accomplish a stream of passive income. For 8 years, I wrote down I wanted to create this stream of passive income. And just imagine if I would have thought after year 5 to just, throw it away. But I was able to, not only because I stayed focused on that goal, not only achieve this line of passive income, but I was able to do it with my beautiful wife. I'm going to give you an assignment or homework, so to speak. I want you for 7 days, regardless of whatever your circumstances are, to sit down and write nothing but positive things about money. I don't want you to think about your circumstances. I want you to just let your thoughts flow. Because again, it's like if we want the things to change, everything in life that changes all starts with a thought. So if you want to change your money circumstances, you have to think in a way that's going to get you results. Again, you have to follow that with actions. I'm not going to tell you to just sit around and think positive. You have to do the work that comes with it. But the thought of thinking positive and staying consistent with that is going to fuel you and keep you focused on that. So we have to kind of take ourselves away from this negative thinking about money, regardless of how hard it is. Like, look, I have been in the trenches. I have been in the dark. I've eaten the ketchup sandwiches. And even when that was the hardest thing to do, I still allowed myself to think positive. Like, life is going to be this inevitable challenge, and it's going to throw blows at you that none of us are even expecting. I don't think anyone wakes up and says, I want something tragic to happen for me. But imagine if you did have this thought process of just thinking positive. Like, I'll give you a scenario. What if your vision was to be a single-digit millionaire, but you land on high 6 figures? Did you lose? Like, I'll even give you a real number. You aimed for $1 million. Your goal that you wrote down was $1 million. Your thought process was $1 million, but you landed at $750,000. Again, it never would have manifested if you didn't have the thought first. The process of thinking and having mindful thinking is not about where you are. It's about preparing yourself for that next level. And just imagine if we looked at thinking as a form of opening up doors for levels. It is. It's not something that is just a thought process that hasn't proven itself. Like, every level that you accomplish in life, there was a thought process prior to you getting to that level. So again, the homework assignment is going to be for 7 days. I'm going to say this again, 7 days. I want you to think nothing but positivity about it. And I want you to focus on picking the right people in your life. I want you to plan your purchases. And I want you to also focus on giving back at any chance you get. But again, it doesn't start until you start mastering this. And I think a great way to master your mind is one opportunity is called single tasking, which is something I just learned from Jay Shetty, but that's a good way to do it. And meditating is another great way to do it. But, I appreciate your time. My name is Sam Smith, sales executive, master at the craft of making money. And thank you for watching Let's Be Smarter with Money.